as always, we thank you for watching and listening to our songs. And we have sort of a special little story to set up our last song. Many of us, I'm sure, given what's going on in the world, have had time on our hands to look at things and to clean up and to straighten out in ways that, frankly, that I never thought I'd get the chance to do. And the other day I went through a box of old stuff and came across a t-shirt I had long since thought I had lost track of. And I'll show it to you. I wonder if any of you understand or recall the significance of this shirt. Phil and Jeannie Moore had a workshop in town that I was fortunate to get a chance to play piano for briefly. But the amazing thing is that Phil Moore, he was a tremendous producer and musician and someone who worked with singers. He was married at one point to Dorothy Dandridge. He produced albums for Bobby Short, among others. And Annette, back in the early days, had a chance to connect with him. So I'm curious to find out your story, Annette.
You want me to tell it now?
Yeah, tell them about how you connected with him.
Okay, I was, Cleveland, Ohio was my hometown, and I was singing with the band at the Carter Hotel in Cleveland, and I played classical piano in the intermission of the orchestra. And Anita Boyer was the vocalist with the Tommy Dorsey Orchestra. And one evening, she was standing in the lobby, and I was singing in the dining room with the orchestra, Charles Wick's orchestra. And when I came out, she introduced herself and said, "You know, Annette, there's a great coach in New York who would be very interested in you." So she said, "I have his phone number." And I said, "Okay, give it to me." So this is Thursday. The following Monday, I was registered as a piano student at Juilliard School of Music. I won the National Scholastic Piano Competition, so the prize was a scholarship. So I was to leave Cleveland Friday and go to school on Monday. So Friday comes along, and I called Phil Moore at his home, and I said that Anita Boyer said that I should sing for you. So he invited me to come, and he said he had 15 minutes for me. Needless to say, I was there till midnight, and I sang for him These Foolish Things. And he smoked a pipe, and he was a black man, and he had these long, he was a magnificent pianist, and he had these long black fingers, and he would put his pipe in his mouth and take one finger and push the tobacco down, and he played it very cool with me, and he squinted at me and said, "So you're going to play something for me, Annette?" And I said, "Yes, I'll play the Chopin Revolutionary Etude." And I could play in those days. And I played that, and he didn't react. He was so cool. And he said, "Now you're going to sing for me, Annette?" I said, "Yes, I'll sing These Foolish Things in the key of B flat." He was not used to girls telling him what key they're going to sing in. So I sang it for him, and oh my goodness, he was a magnificent pianist. And when I finished, he got up from the piano and put his pipe in his mouth. "You know, Annette, you don't need to go to school anymore." He said, "I don't." He said, "No." He said, "I'm going to coach you." And he said, "And I charge $300 a week." So I called my mother in Cleveland, and I said, "Mom, I'm not going to start school because this famous coach said that I'm going to be a singer, and he charges $300 a week." So my mother said, "A check will be in the mail." And it was. And I handed him the check when it arrived. And after my first session with him, he was an incredible coach. He gave me the check, and I had told him that my mother was a single mother raising 3 children. He gave me the check back to send to her. Years and years later, he had a thing called for singers only, and he trained, a whole bunch of singers at a time with arrangements and everything. And he asked me, in those days I was a music teacher, a singing teacher, and I stressed breath support, and he didn't have any breath support teacher for his class, so he called me and said, would I come in and teach breath support? And I said, absolutely. So I did, and he tried to pay me, and I said, no way. Remember when you gave me the check back to send to my mother? So I got to pay it forward.
It's fabulous. And Annette and I have known each other for many years, and we've worked together rather steadily for the last 15. One of the many things that we have in common is this connection, oddly enough. I was done with college in 1986, joined the Musicians Union at the end of that year, and early in 87, I answered an ad for the Phil and Jeannie Moore workshop, which was actually located on the 2nd floor of the same building where the Roxy is on Sunset Boulevard. And I went up there and I was asked to sit down at the piano and play something. And Phil, much as she describes, had his pipe and puffed and he asked me to play, and I sat down and I played Body and Soul. And afterwards again he puffed on the pipe and he said, well, you sat down there like you knew what you were doing. Fabulous. Fabulous. So I wound up getting the opportunity to play for their workshop for a few months. Unfortunately, he passed away in May of that year, so I guess the fortunate part is that I was able to meet him and to have that experience. He was a wonderful guy. Look him up, find out the work that he did with the various singers over the years. It's all worth checking out. We thank you for watching and listening, and figured that we would end up with a fabulous song. I'm sure you'll all enjoy it, Come Rain or Come Shine.
I'm gonna love you like nobody's loved you. Come rain or come shine, high as a mountain and deep as a river. Come rain or come shine. I guess when you met me, it was just one of those things. But don't ever bet me, 'cause I'm gonna be true if you let me. You're gonna love me like nobody's loved me. Come rain or come shine. Happy together, unhappy together, and won't it be fine? Days may be cloudy or sunny. We're in or we're out of the money. But I'm with you always. we're in or we're out of the money. But I'm with you always. I'm with you, rain or shine.